Hiya, it's Catherine. Welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do a quick video about the horrendous condition that is morning sickness. I went through morning sickness from 6 to 12 weeks with my first pregnancy and 6 to about 14 to 15 weeks with my second pregnancy, and it was just the most horrible, debilitating and vile condition I've ever been through, and I know a lot of people experience it for longer, but I thought I'd do a quick video about it because I feel like it's not often talked about and there's not much awareness about it. For me, it was more nausea than actual vomiting, but it was constant. It's not like, you know, people say morning sickness, but it's not at all. It can spring up at any time. Well, it can spring up at any time, which is what people used to say to me, but it was just constant. It's not like it sprung up at any time, it was just all the time. So morning sickness is false, that whole term morning, it's not just in the morning. And I think a lot of people, like obviously men, because they never get it, that's what they think it is, and it's just not at all. And you know, for me it was worse than labour, definitely hands down, worse than labour, and I went through a pretty bad labour. So the first time I remember having morning sickness, I was driving home from work one day. I was about 6 weeks pregnant and I just thought, I don't feel like I'm pregnant. I need some confirmation. I want something. You know, I want morning sickness. I want to feel sick. Just so I can know, or so I can have, like, go through that nostalgia. I don't know what it was, if that's even the right word, but I wanted something to confirm that my body was in pregnancy. And I remember thinking, I really want to feel morning sickness. Maybe I just thought it would just be in the mornings or a few days. I don't know why anyone would wish for it, but stupid me, I did. And that night my sister came round for dinner and it was a lovely day. We sat in the garden and I cooked chilli with jacket potatoes, and when I served it, I just put mine on the table and I just thought, I really don't want that chilli. It just made my stomach turn, and I just thought, well, maybe I'll just have just the dry jacket potato, which was really unheard of for me because I love sauces, I love cooking, anything like that. And it just made my stomach turn, and I did have a few mouthfuls of it and I just couldn't have it any more of it, and I just felt vile. My stomach just turned, and that horrible feeling you get just in your head and in your stomach, and that morning sickness feeling, that nausea, from then on I just experienced that for 6 weeks after that, and that was it. It was just constant. I couldn't stand the smell of hot food. I couldn't eat any sauces like the chilli I just described, but any bolognese or carbonara or any saucy stuff, I couldn't handle that. And the smell of any hot food, if I went into a restaurant, if I went even into the supermarket, I remember walking into Morrison's and that fruit and veg section, the smell of kind of, or maybe, I don't know what it is, groceries, that put me off as well. But it was mainly sort of food cooking, which I love the smell of food cooking. I love cooking, I love food, and I cook every night, so it was really, really difficult for me. I really love the smell of bakeries normally, but I absolutely detested the smell of any bakery, like bread, cakes or anything like that. And that Warburton's advert with Peter Kay, it just made my stomach turn. I just couldn't watch it. I just had to turn away, and it was just so silly. Everything on TV had a different perspective. I love watching cooking shows. I love cooking, and I just couldn't do anything like that at all. I just had to have everything dry. And yeah, as I said, making meals was really difficult for me because I normally love cooking. I love all different smells. I really enjoy cooking, but I just couldn't. So all I wanted to eat was dry Jacob's crackers all day, which actually really helped me. That was one of the things I felt keeping my stomach full that really, really helped, kind of, because there's something to do with the stomach acid. Apparently it's the stomach acid that makes you feel sick. Well, I went to the doctors, the first time I went to the doctors, and he just sort of just laughed at me and just said, don't you know that's what you get when you're pregnant? You get morning sickness, just deal with it. And he said, if you take Gaviscon, it'll cure it because, you know, it neutralises the stomach acid. So I thought, oh, okay, that's what I'll do, and it didn't do anything really. It just made me feel more sick, but What I did was I just ate sort of little and often. I ate Jacob's crackers a lot, and all I wanted to do was sleep because I knew that when I was asleep I wouldn't feel nauseous. I would say that my morning sickness was worse at night. I think it may have been because it was kind of the anticipation of hot food, because everyone has hot food at night, don't they? You have kind of maybe, I don't know, whatever for breakfast, then you have maybe a sandwich for lunch, or you know, maybe something cold for lunch, but you always usually have hot food for dinner. Well, I do. And it was just the anticipation of either cooking it, because I just knew I had to cook, because bless Jim, he is a really good cook, but it's just easier for me to just chuck things in. So I was buying kind of frozen things, just chucking them in the oven so I wouldn't have to smell them. But then again, when they actually cooked in the oven, I did have to smell them. So yeah, it was horrible. And even if he cooked his own meal, all I wanted to do was shut myself in the bedroom so I wouldn't smell it, but I could still smell it anyway, so there was no point in even like trying to distance myself, because the smell still got up to me. But I think my morning sickness was definitely worse at night. So until you've been through it, no one understands. I get travel sickness, and I would say it's like being on that journey, but it is just a constant journey and you don't know when that journey is going to end. It's just awful. I remember my best friend came round one night with her other half with a nice bottle of wine, and she just went, well, you know, there's some people who can't have a baby. And I just wanted to punch her in the face. I knew she was right, but obviously we've laughed about it since, but it didn't make me feel any better at all. It was just awful. So luckily I was able to cope with it, and you just have to, don't you? You just have to. I think actually the first time I looked up a few meditations for it on YouTube. I don't think they really helped, and also I tried the C-band travel sickness bands, and I don't think they really worked. I think it was just a placebo effect for me, but I still used them. I wore them all the time, but I don't think they really worked for me. So luckily I was able to cope with it, and you know, I hoped that it would end, but I know people that have been hospitalised for it. It is the most horrendous, debilitating condition that I've ever been through, and I feel like there really should be more awareness of it, because it's so scary, and you know, it's absolutely vile. It's not like what you see in the movies where a woman's in her office and she is typing away at her keyboard and she throws up in a waste paper basket and then just carries on working, and then, you know, that's her morning sickness. It's not like that at all, which you must know if you have ever had it. What I found really useful actually the second time was that I joined a Facebook group. I think it was called Pregnancy Corner, but I'll find out and link it below. And there are so many other people going through the same thing, so it really, really helped me. And some people, you know, everyone's morning sickness is different, so some people worse than others. Some people get it the whole 9 months. I know my mother-in-law did get it the whole 9 months with her first born, and then the second time she didn't get it at all. So when people say, oh, you might not get it the second time, then you think, oh, okay, I'll get pregnant again. Well, I got it the same, but yeah, it's just the worst feeling. But I just want you to know, if you are going through it, then you will feel better again. It will end, and I just really, really feel for you, because I know what it was like when I went through it. So that was my short video about morning sickness. I just wanted to do one because I felt like it was a major part of my pregnancy, and I feel that there's not enough awareness of it. I really, you know, it's one of the worst things that anyone could go through, and you know, I just felt like it was right that as I'm doing pregnancy vlogs, then I would do a video about morning sickness, because I only started my vlogs a few weeks ago, and it was a major part of my pregnancy, and it was a major lifestyle change, you know, because I love socialising and I couldn't do that. I love, you know, it changes your behaviour completely, and you just become a different person. So yeah, I felt right to do a video about it, because I don't think there's enough awareness of it, and it is a major, major symptom of pregnancy. So if you don't know me, I'm Cathryn, and I'm a mum of a toddler Poppy, who's 3, and I'm pregnant with my second one, who's due in a few weeks. If you like videos like this, then please like my videos and subscribe to my channel, as I'm fairly new. I would really appreciate that. And you know, if you enjoy watching these sort of videos, then I will see you very soon. Bye.